We got that little bit of everything, little bit of everything.
Today we are interviewing Ms. Raina Carillo, who is a community leader, an Inglewood enthusiast, and a mayoral candidate for the city of Inglewood. I'm so excited for her to tell you about her LA story and her vision of the future for Inglewood. I'm so excited to be here with my guest today, Raina Carillo, who is a community leader and a mayoral candidate for the city of Inglewood. I'm just so excited to hear about your LA story and what changes you would like to bring to this area and to Inglewood.
Well, being born and raised in Inglewood in the 90s, it definitely was very gang infested, right?
Were you in a gang?
Yes, I was, yes. And I grew up by Morningside High School area. And so in '97, I was almost gunned down by a person that I knew. And that's what changed my life. You know, we still have gangs, but it's not as bad as it was back in the 90s. So my story of that experience is, you know, just seeing that, you know, there's a little progress of, you know, making change in our community.
What do you attribute that change to?
I would say gang intervention, a little bit of law enforcement, you know.
How do you feel about the recent law enforcement changes that have happened in LA?
I would say it's interesting because a lot of people, you know, are not very happy with the defunding the police kind of thing. But I don't look at it as defunding the law enforcement, you know. I look at it as taking some of the piece of the pie and utilizing it with mental health, gang intervention, prevention, re-entry. Because suppression is suppression, but we need to find other forms of ways to help our community. So if we had permanent housing or the reality of low-income housing, for real, like low-income housing is not 3 bedrooms for $3,000, you know? So that's what the community is scared of, the gentrification. I just feel like, you know, Inglewood is a culture. And it's a culture for everyone, you know, to share. Me being mixed roots of Creole, it's like, you know, you have white family, you know, French family, black family, in between family, and it's like, you know, I didn't grow up with you know, pushing people out because we were all a mixed family from my Creole side. So I never look at you know, a person coming into the community that doesn't look like me and feel a certain type of way. It's more like, hello, get to know them, who are they, you know?
Integration is something that has been on the housing agenda for a long time, but has also been kind of contrary to the way that banks have issued loans, even recently. Despite federal fair housing regulations, there's still racism in our industry. And I think that the biggest challenge we have is to become more inclusive financially, as in to allow more opportunities for people to learn about how to use their money.
Black and brown people need to be educated. They need the same opportunity as anybody else. And I just think it's important for our community members in Inglewood that when they purchase a home, they need to purchase life insurance to protect, you know, their legacy, and also getting a trust. And so when you think about that, it's like continuing the legacy through property, through financial literacy, and building a legacy for your next generation.
Right. So these aren't just words. I mean, this is words turning into action. Raina's story from the streets of Inglewood to running for mayor, but also having the dream that this is possible here, and a vision of inclusivity and financial literacy, I think is really compelling and is exactly what's needed. Thank you so much for taking this time to walk and talk with me on the American Dream. We'll see you next time.